Catherine Hayes and I'm Head of Franchising for HSBC. When you're putting together a business plan, you need to give the bank enough information to make that decision about whether we're going to lend to you or not. So you need to start off with yourself. What's your background? What are your skills? What other roles have you had? And put that in. Then you need to look at the business itself. Tell us a little bit about the franchise and how you're going to operate and how you're going to operate in your local market. And then you need to look at the figures, and obviously the figures are very important. You'll probably give us a couple of years at least projections for your net profit, your sales, your turnover, so we can see how you think the business is going to work, and then we can use that as a basis for discussion when we meet you to talk about your lending needs. Our job as HSBC franchise unit is to get to know franchisors, even the ones that aren't so well known, to talk to those franchisors, to find out how they operate. We get a copy of the legal agreement, we get their accounts, we look at the sort of support they give franchises, and then we use all that information to make sure we can brief our lending managers when they're lending to franchisees. We get to know these franchises and how they operate, and that helps us then make a lending decision. So really a franchisee shouldn't see any difference. It's not going to be easier or harder. It's about looking at their business plan and what they're putting forward, and then we make that decision accordingly. Well, there's a lot of flexibility, because what we'll want to do is tailor a lending package to that individual franchisee and look at what their requirements are, because some businesses obviously are premises based, so they'll have particular requirements. Some, a franchisee might be driving a van, so they might need something else, and it's looking at all those and then deciding what's the best way to repay the borrowing. So obviously if they had to repay it really quickly in a year, that would make the repayments very high, and the business might not be able to cope with those. So we can look at spreading that term over probably 5 years. The term of the legal agreement is probably the most common, but for some of the really expensive franchises where they're property based, it might be over a longer period. I think one of the changes really has been that people are better informed now, because the internet has opened up information to everybody. So we're finding people coming to us that know a little bit about franchising and know that they want to go into franchising to look at their business venture, and that's great. But what we also do is we provide them with guidance and help, so that they know a little bit when they come in, but we can point them in the right direction in terms of the questions they should ask and what they should do. So in some ways it hasn't changed, but in other ways there is more information out there, but people have to find what they need to make the right decision for them. If they want to start talking to us about borrowing money, they need to have the business plan ready, and then what we do at the central HSBC franchise unit is put them in touch with a local lending manager who understands the area that they're working in, and then we give that manager advice and guidance about the individual franchise that they're buying, so that the two can have a sensible conversation about what's needed and what the franchisee wants. I think HSBC has had years of experience in the franchise market. We've got a team of 10 of us who work with franchisees, franchisors and our lending managers in our branch network, so that we all understand how franchising works and what support franchisees need. So we've got a huge amount of experience, and this year in particular we've lent a lot of money to franchisees to help them start their businesses, which is fantastic, and long may it continue. So come to us for your lending.